Given that we are meeting for the first time straight under the camera, from the profile I got and the way you talk about it, would love to get into your story and everything that you stand for. It still feels like you want to do so much more. But let's go deeper in your journey. Would love to know more about you.
So we start from the start.
Yes.
We legacy business people now, we feel that we are now fence sitters. We stop being innovators. So we just observe what has legs to go and then we grab it and put it into our system.
What does joy stand for? It cannot stand for one thing if you are selling 30 things.
Yeah.
Or in the consumer.
But then people should know that joy means skincare. Joy means moisturizer. And we are one of the very few Indian companies who are working on skincare in this manner. All our competitors, so-called competitors, are majorly these multinationals. भाई हमने यही सोचा, मेरे पास और कोई रास्ता नहीं है. मेरी लर्निंग मैं लाइफ की आपके साथ शेयर कर. आज भी मुझे यही लगता है कि इसको छोड़ के तो मैं कुछ जानता नहीं. दिस इज माई ओनली गेम, दिस इज माई ओनली प्ले.
I have to win.
I have to win.
आदत लग रही है सर.
आदत नहीं, आपको निकम्मा बना दे रहा है. आपको निकम्मा बना दे रहा है. आप सामने में कोक मिल रही है आपके, लेकिन आप यहाँ बैठे बैठे ऑर्डर दे रहे हो, पीछे से आके आपको दे रहा है 8 मिनट में. If you want to have 1 year of prosperity, grow grain, 10 years of prosperity, grow trees, and 100 years of prosperity, grow people. So people resource, the main resource.
Such a pleasure to have you, and would love our audiences to get to know you and your story a lot deeper, because fundamentally we are about entrepreneurship, about building enterprises, about taking an idea from scratch and building it out. आपकी तो 35 साल की story है, and
Yeah.
from the profile I got and the way you talk about it, it still feels like you want to do so much more. But let's go deeper in your journey. Would love to know more about you.
So we start from the start.
Yes.
When I came out of the college, we have this business of wholesale in cosmetics, skincare, and other type of kirana products. So I never wanted to do that business, because I was always thinking that we should do something very different and a business which can be sustainable. So initial challenge was that business was not so much paying as well. So we had a very flourishing business in Madhya Pradesh. My elder brother was running that business.
कहाँ पे?
मध्य प्रदेश में बैतूल बोल के एक जगह है.
हाँ, मैं इंदौर से हूँ. My parents are from Indore.
Oh, अच्छा, okay, then you will know. So that business was very flourishing. So he was very keen that I join him in that business, but I was not keen to leave Calcutta. So, and then this business which we had in Kolkata was not so good.
What business? The wholesale.
That was a wholesale business. It was not paying at all. So,
और MP में कौन सा business?
that was a timber business.
Timber.
We were manufacturing timber doors, windows, and all those
Achha.
stuff. So that business was very flourishing, and it had a lot of potential that time. So, but then still, I never wanted to join them. Then I started this business of manufacturing cosmetics, a very
How old
small
were you?
scale. I am
How old were you then?
I was 1986, 24 years.
Wow.
So 24 years, just came out of the college, wanted to do something so that, I earn so that I don't have to go to MP to my elder brother, because he was very strict. So either you earn or you come here.
Come here. Okay.
So almost like that. Yeah. So I said, let me, try something. So we started a small talcum powder manufacturing base in 80 square feet in our house only at the ground floor.
And why did you use talcum powder?
Because that was very easy to do. Kolkata was known for its talcum powder. So in those days. So Kolkata talcum was very popular.
Achha.
So I said, okay, let's start. This is the easiest thing going. There's no rocket science here. We can always do it very easily. So everything was available. So I started, and manufacturing was very easy. Manufacturing talcum powder was the easiest thing you could do. And then when I went to the market and started giving credit to the people, nobody paid me. So entire money went down the drain.
How much was that?
Initial was not much, but then I came back to my elder brother again.
The timber guy.
Yeah, so that I want to restart, because I've learned it the hard way. Let me start again. So he gave me a last chance. He said, no, this is your last chance. I'll give you 6 months. And this 15 lakhs. 15 lakhs those days he gave me.
In 1986?
Yeah. So that was 1988. So I started, and he gave me a warning that 6 months, maximum 12 months, that otherwise you have to join the business in MP. Said, okay. Then I started this brand. Earlier brand was different. Then I started again.
What was the earlier brand?
Dream. The name was Dream. Then
Dream Talcum.
Yeah, Dream Talcum. That was the only product which we did there. Then I started with Joy Talcum. So Joy Talcum came into the picture. This time I was a little methodical in, how I should approach. So I wanted to do things very innovatively. So we came up with very innovative packaging. Those days, most of the talcum powder which were getting manufactured were with paper labels and all those stuff. Very attractive, but good designs, but nothing very interesting. So we came up with polymer labels. Polymer labels were ahead of time. No one was doing any polymer labels in talcum powder. So, and the packaging also looked very wow. So when I was very happy when it came. It took me 6 months to develop that. But I said, no, I will start with something which is unique and innovative. So when I took it to the market, people were bored. Everybody stood up. There's something good has come in talcum powder. Talcum powder from Kolkata, it was very easy to sell anywhere you go in India because it was very popular. कोलकाता talcum माने
फ्रेग्रेंस था या
फ्रेग्रेंस बहुत अच्छा देते थे, पैकेजिंग वहाँ के लोग बहुत अच्छा बनाते थे अलग अलग शेप में. But majorly mine was a very simple round shape, but the level was unique. So, and the fragrance of course was.
And people used talcum powder in 1988 or that.
Those days talcum powder was huge, consumption was huge. There was no body deodorants, none of these stuffs.
So it was a deodorant.
Now the talcum powder is dipping. I mean, now it is more of body deodorants and spray perfumes and fragrances and all those stuffs. So those days talcum powder, and especially from Kolkata, anything from Kolkata would be good. So this happened, and this time thankfully we were a little methodical. I was a little methodical, that I didn't give too much credit and went to some markets, started traveling with the product which I created, and gradually things started falling into place. This Joy brand started in 88. From a talcum powder, then we were in talcum powder for next 12-13 years. We were not doing anything else.
Till 2000.
Till 2000 almost, we were doing only talcum powder, but I am traveling all across the country to sell my talcum powder. It was not like distribution or anything or marketing, just to sell. Somebody will take and he will distribute. So during that journey, I observed that, and talcum was only 3-4 months phenomena. It was only like summer months, February to June, the moment it starts raining, people will stop buying from you, the wholesalers and all these people. So then most of the other 7-8 months we are idle, not doing anything. So during that travel, I observed that when I traveled, and most of my markets were in North India and Western India.
That's surprising. You but not East?
East, no. We didn't try out East. East is, not such a big market for talcum powder those days. So Western India, North India. South was also big, but we didn't go to South. We went to North first. I don't know, destiny took me to North. So, and during those travels, because destiny wanted me to get into skincare, I think. Now I think on the hindsight. So that's why even I took talcum powder to South, North instead of South, maybe. So during my...
That's surprising. South is a very talcum powder.
Yeah.
I don't know.
65% of the market share South had. Later we came to know.
Had you known it, would you have gone South?
Of course, we would have gone to South. So North, during that travel, I when I was talking to these dealers, distributors and all those whomsoever I was dealing with, so I could observe that there is a big potential for moisturizers, skin creams, because winters are very harsh in these regions, and you have 4, 5, 6 months of extended winters. It starts almost from, the dryness starts sometimes in, August, September, those days, and it goes on, carries on till March maybe. So I said it is a big potential, because March onwards, we are busy with talcum powder. March to June, we are okay. We are done. So what about the other months? And those other 8 months are the winter months. So let's get into skincare. So I started 2001. I remember very clearly a honey almond based cream. So that was my first product in skincare. That's a very popular product even today.
Yes.
It sells more than 80-90 crores today. So he started, and first thing I went to the printer and said, just print 10,000 labels for me, because I don't know, I will be able to sell maybe 3,000-4,000, rest all I'll scrap. But 10,000 was the MOQ. The printer said that okay, you do, and I put it in the market with just one packaging, 200 ml. It's a larger pack according to the consumption patterns.
तो 3-4 हजार बनाया आपने?
3-4 हजार बनाया, बिक गया. 10,000 तक बेचते हमारा सीजन भी निकल गया. Later I could get an idea, had we made little more, we could have been able to sell that much also.
ये नॉर्थ में बिक रहा था आपके?
नॉर्थ में ही. So बहुत confidence आ गया उससे. Then next year we came up with 2 more creams, because now the confidence level was high. And one of those creams is Skin Fruits, which is, I think, the largest moisturizer selling in India today.
Correct.
Right? So that came up in 2002. And then, gradually those things started rolling out. 2003, we were doing decent business with moisturizer. Just 2 years into this business, people were already talking about. Good thing is we went to a natural space.
Correct.
Those days, these multinationals were not into the natural space. Most of them were like very straight on the face, cold cream, nourishing cream, those type of products. So nobody was claiming ingredients as the hero.
Honey almond.
And so we purposely started naming our products based on the hero ingredients like honey almond, nourishing cream, or skin fruits, skin cream, pure aloe, multi-purpose cream.
Insight कहाँ से आया सर कि ये natural करना चाहिए?
Naturalness was actually showing up. I mean, some local brands were doing natural offerings, but not in a very structured manner. Although we were also not very structured that time, but the thought that this natureness will be grabbed by the people, that insight you could draw when you go to the market, that local companies were doing, but these multinationals were not doing. So we seized an opportunity there. And the initial success of honey cream and then the skin fruits cream gave us that strength. Yes, this is what people are buying. People are buying into this idea of using natural-based offerings. So thereafter, the business was started growing. So by around 2003, my business around 3 crores. And excise duty in those days was very high. It was very difficult to compete with any of these competitors because of the excise duty element. So thankfully, during that time only, we got this exemption zones in Uttarakhand and Himachal. That was a big boost. So
3 crores per month or 3 crores per year?
3 crores annual.
In 2001, 2002?
2003.
Wow, okay.
So
15 years after starting.
Yeah, so 12 years we just दाल रोटी का जुगाड़ कर रहे थे. किसी भी तरीके से दाल रोटी पूरा हो जाए, अपना खर्चा चल जाए, थोड़ा घूम ले. That is enough. और कुछ एस्पिरेशन नहीं था ना उस समय. ये नहीं था कि कुछ बनाना है, कोई ड्रीम है. बस ये था कि ये हमारा सोर्स ऑफ लाइवलीहुड है, इसी से.
आपको लगता था कि ये 10-15 साल करेंगे और एट सम पॉइंट इसका ऐसा कर्व होगा?
I don't know. Somehow I still feel when I look into the hindsight, things started getting into place. So basically what I learned during this journey is like, you have to remain in the game. You don't play it for a few years and then go out and start playing into a different game. So I still feel, karte raho. I still feel somebody very early in my, during 90s, one of the guys who I always treat him that he is one of my mentors. So he used to tell me, we are from Kolkata. So he used to tell me, आपका साउथ कलकत्ता में कहीं 100 रुपए का नोट गिरा है और आप उसको जाके नॉर्थ कलकत्ता में खोजोगे तो आपको कभी नहीं मिलेगा. लेकिन आप साउथ कलकत्ता में वहीं उसी एरिया में अगर खोजोगे ना जहाँ गिरा है, चांस से आपको मिल सकता है. So that give me an insight. You be in the business which you started.
Correct.
And, grapple there, do all your struggles there, and gradually you will find a way. This really helped. Even today, I feel there's a lot to learn in this business. Even after 35 years, every day is a learning thing.
Someone mentor had told me one thing, that people underestimate the value of marination of a business.
Yeah,
the thing is happening.
Yeah,
but there is something deep inside that's going deeper and deeper. And on the surface, as an entrepreneur or early team or sales officers, you don't really know. हमेशा लगता है कि यार कितना struggle है, कितना time लग रहा है, etc. But just staying there and doing the same thing consistently over and over again, at some point things start taking
strength आता है उससे. अभी कभी कई चीज़ों में तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये चीज़ तो मेरे बाएं हाथ की मुट्ठी में है. So I mean, somebody doing something very wrongly, मेरे को लगता है यार इसको बताऊं ये क्यों कर रहा है, ये ऐसा क्यों कर रहा है. But so some of the things have almost become ingrained into you because you are into this business for so many years. So you are meeting dealers, you are traveling. I used to travel a lot. 1988 to 2001, you will not believe, not a single month I was not traveling.
And this was
every month.
I'm sure you would have taken trains and you would have
yellow card ticket without reservation. I used to book. Board the train, टीटी के पीछे घूमते थे. उसने बर्थ नहीं दिया तो बाथरूम के बगल में चादर बिछा के सो के निकल जाते थे. पहुंचना है लखनऊ तो पहुंचना है. मन में आ गया आज लखनऊ जाना है तो जाना है.
Wow.
आज my nephew, he was only, not even barely, he was 20 when he was assisting me in this business. He went to Ahmedabad 2-night journey on a triple class. Yeah, Ahmedabad Express, and went and appointed a dealer there. So this is how the journey has been.
And people, a lot of our viewers are young. They don't know what building a business in the 80s and 90s would have been, because there's no email, there's no mobile phone, there is this is very hard to do because
But there was one good thing. There were not so many distractions.
that was
So I always feel that, so while we sometimes blame the younger generation that why you're not focused, those days we had no other option.
करना है मतलब करना
यही करना है.
और कुछ है ही नहीं करना.
So that way we are fortunate. I always feel so. कभी भी किसी को क्यों बोलते हैं, हम यंग जनरेशन को बोलते हैं तुम लोग अनफॉर्चुनेट है. फॉर्चुनेट तो हम लोग थे कि हमारे पास डिस्ट्रैक्शन नहीं था. तुम लोग अनफॉर्चुनेट है. So we have to take it in a positive way. So they sometimes get happy that you are really understand us.
Validation. That's amazing. But एक बात बताइए sir, and I want to like kind of break down this journey. We'll come to what happened post 2003 also. But I want to take you back to 86, 88, right? 24-year-old, straight out of college. I'm assuming the first failure would have led to family discussions around or people telling you कि ये मत करना, go join your brother. And then taking a large 15 lakhs at that time would be equal to what? 10 crores today or 5 crores today, something
Yeah.
very, very huge, right? It's a gutsy move as a 26-year-old to do that and then kind of go after a market because you are believing it. And then for 13 years after that, to do train में travel करना, yellow card लेके, etc. एक ही चीज. In an industry that is cyclical. So another friend of mine runs an ice cream business.
Okay.
Very hard to run a cyclical business because you have to plan inventory for 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Plan manufacturing for 3-4 months. फिर वो 2-3 महीने में nothing can go wrong क्योंकि एक भी चीज अगर गलत हो जाती है तो फिर तुम्हारा पूरा
एक साल
हो
गया.
जाता है. It's very agricultural that way, right?
Yeah.
Then you go back into preparation. I love that you make it sound easy, but it would not have been. Like emotionally would have been difficult, right?
See, I tell you,
taking that risk at that time.
That time, the thought process during those 12 years was just to earn my daily bread, to be honest with you. So that helped. I mean, we were not frustrated that why things are not growing, something like that. So that way, but the learning was coming constantly. That is a good part. So I believe those 12 years, I always feel are my formative years. So those were like below the ground. अंदर बहुत कुछ nurture हो रहा था, बहुत कुछ grow हो रहा था.
आपको feel होता था वो?
लगता था. Every time, you're learning, this may not work. Now you started identifying, you getting, more methodical in your approach as to what not to do and what to do and all those stuffs. Gradually you started learning those things. There were lesser failures. You're knowing what can work in this market and stuff like that. But there was always a desire that we should get into some other categories as well beyond a talcum powder, which I was trying. I was trying during 97, 98, but I was trying. छोटा cold cream का बहुत 5,000 ये सब करता था मैं. But everything used to come back to me. It always used to come. माल मार्केट में जाता था और 6 महीने बाद सीजन खत्म होने के बाद वापस आया. ये नहीं बिका साहब. So those time we were also doing Joy cold cream sort of a thing. Joy moisturizing cream sort of. That time that natureness and that element was not there. It was like very me-too type of a product of what multinationals are doing.
And this is Nivea, Vaseline, कौन था तब?
Charmis was big those days.
Charmis was big.
Charmis, Ponds.
Charmis used to belong.
Nivea was not there that time.
Achha.
India. It was like a multinational operating from outside. Nivea was not there in India that time. So mainly Unilever products and Charmis. Colgate was popular.
Ponds, Vaseline.
Vaseline was also not there.
Not there.
Ponds. Very few brands were there. That time, skincare business, there were hardly few brands. So I've seen the evolution of skincare business in last 10 years and to be precise, last 5 years, around COVID time.
Crazy.
Because of this D2C boom and all these stuff, a lot of new offerings, a lot of new categories have come in. A lot of changes have happened and hats off to these D2C people. They have really, shown us a lot of way to the, legacy businesses as to how fast you should be and, So we legacy business people now, we feel that we are now fence sitters. We stop being innovators. We look at the innovation these guys do and where we see that the products which they are doing, they have legs to get into the mass market. We are a mass market brand. So we just observe what has legs to go and then we grab it and put it into our system. While they struggle to make their numbers, we get into those numbers. So this is not what we are doing. Almost every traditional legacy brands are doing the same thing. You see something like a Nuptan or a vitamin C or a hyaluronic acid or a niacinamide, all these stuffs, they're not there. None of legacy business are doing that. Unilever must be knowing about all this for so many years, but they never used to explore these stuffs. But D2C boom when it happened, and these people started knowing these ingredients thanks to internet again. Then these things started flourishing into the mind of the consumers. And then we found that it has legs. Something like an onion shampoo came from somebody from D2C.
Yeah.
And now Dabur grabbed it and now running with it. So it's like traditional brands are doing this game.
Yeah.
So they're playing smart. I mean, initially D2C was running away with all the cherry. Then, some of the legacy brands placed in, said, oh, why you're running away with our business? Yeah. So let's grab it back. And some of that doing very interestingly and very...
I agree with you. So, for example, I think D2C companies find insights because they're very close to the consumer through internet.
Yeah.
Those insights lead to certain innovative products. But D2C companies don't have the channels to distribute those products. Legacy companies have the channels. So, products become big. But what ends up happening is the profit pool starts expanding. And then D2C companies, if they're smart about it, are able to expand into offline channels, say कि अच्छा ठीक है आप ये 3 प्रोडक्ट बेच रहे हो तो ये नई कंपनी का भी बेचो क्योंकि कंज्यूमर वही है. For example, I'll give you an example from our space. We launched shaving foams has been the same product for last 50 years.
Yeah.
वो कैन है उसके अंदर वो सफेद कलर का फोम है फुस करके बाहर आता है. They've done a fantastic job with making a good product. Fragrance बढ़िया है, बार्बर को पसंद आता है, जो सेल्फ शेवर है. You seem to be someone who shaves every day. You also probably use the same product. We realized कि यार इस प्रोडक्ट में ना ये प्रोडक्ट सबसे नॉस्ट्रल के पास जाने वाला प्रोडक्ट है. It goes closest to the nostril, more than face wash or soap.
Yeah.
Indian men shave before they shower. Most of the world shaves after they shower. Indian men shave before. So the foam cannot leak onto the neck क्योंकि बनियान या टी-शर्ट खराब होता है उसके बाद.
Correct.
Right? So Indian men don't like leaking. Third is because it goes close to nostril, fragrance is important. Fourth thing is Indian men typically want their face to be clean. तो हमने बोला है थोड़ा फ्रेग्रेंस ऐड कर देते हैं एक्स्ट्रा इसमें चारकोल ऐड कर देते हैं ताकि जब वो धुलेगा तो बंदे को ये भी लगेगा कि चेहरा भी साफ हो रहा है और थोड़ा इसको क्रीमी बना देते हैं. फॉर्मुलेशन फॉर सच कि वो चिपक जाए आपको, तो यहाँ से कोई पानी वानी नहीं आता है,
टपकेगा नहीं.
तो वी मेड अ फोम व्हिच इज ब्लैक इन कलर. द फोम इटसेल्फ वाज ग्रेइश एंड सुनील जी वी मार्केटेड इट लाइक द वे यू मार्केट आइसक्रीम्स. मस्त सुंदर लग रहा है वो ऐसे करते हुए. हमारे सारे एड्स में ऐसे लग रहा था. टुडे वी सेल ऑलमोस्ट 4 लाख पीसेस ऑफ दैट फोम अ मंथ, 4 लाख यूनिट्स. प्राइस 12. तो डीमार्ट रिलायंस में मिलता है वो, आपको D2C में मिलेगा, अमेजॉन फ्लिपकार्ट पे मिलेगा, ब्लिंकिट पे, सब दूर मिलता है वो, जहाँ पे दुकानों में मिलेगा. एंड वी 4-5 months बैक, आई थिंक 6 months बैक, Gillette launched their own charcoal shaving foam. जब उन्होंने charcoal shaving foam लॉन्च किया, then we said guys our product is made it, because they were sitting the fence watching. They realized कि category is getting disrupted by this random company. उठा लिया प्रोडक्ट, उठा लिया, then they did it, and now the consumer wants charcoal foam. तब 3-4 और players आ जाएंगे, the category will become big. And we will participate in the profit pool.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very cool industry.
Very
model.
good ecosystem. That's what I'm saying. So there is, you cannot say the game is for D2C or the game is for legacy. It's a ecosystem where everybody will coexist.
Correct.
You learn some from us, we learn some from you. It's like that.
Correct.
It's a very osmosis kind of a situation.
Correct. No, absolutely. But tell me a little bit more about it. I think I want to, like, you've crunched 30 years, 35 years into a very, or 37 years into like a very clinical and humble synopsis. But one of the toughest things that I find as running a personal brand, a personal care brand or brands is distribution. Shelf space हो या brand का throw हो या pricing हो या schemes हो या sales force incentivization हो, कि बहुत ही complicated चीज़ है. number 1. number 2, it's not instinctive. ऐसा लगता नहीं है कि आपको easily आ सकता है. And in like 1988 to 2001, 2, 3, that era, a lot of it was not automated. Technology was not there. People were on the street. Talk about building distribution, especially rural and mass market.
I still feel you're asking me about 2002-3, but even today in FMCG business, our business, the biggest challenge is to have your general trade distribution.
Yeah,
it's very easy to set up a online business distribution channel. It's very easy.
Correct.
It's the fastest thing you can do. And even organized retail or the modern trade, which we call, you just get listed and then start selling your products there. It's again not very difficult.
Correct.
But the toughest thing, where 80% of the business comes from in our skincare business, is the traditional trade, the general trade, which we call. And setting up the distribution, it requires years. It will not happen in a day. All these things can happen in a day. A D2C brand or a modern trade
or
organization,
e-commerce label.
anything. But for a general trade business to expand and grow, it has to be a journey. You cannot. So we were never disturbed by this D2C boom, because at certain point of time they will have to face this music, because every D2C brand was telling the story. Whomsoever was seeing some good fortunes, that at certain point of time they have to come into the retail. They have to come into the physical retail. And that will be the biggest challenge for most of them. Even for us who are a legacy brands, had started our journey with that. Even today we are available in 900,000 outlets only, where the potential is to go to almost 6 million outlets. Yeah. So in 35 years...
900,000 is a huge number.
Yeah. So that's what Nielsen reported about 2 years back.
Wow. 1 million outlets.
So this is how it is. And you have to seed. You have to keep seeding. So the biggest challenge for us is how you are expanding your distribution.
But sir, let's go deeper, because सब लोग इसको बोलते हैं कि GT बढ़ाना चाहिए, distribution बढ़ाना चाहिए. मेरे को बहुत difficult लगता है वो, because retailer economics is hard. Retailer को उस product को continuously बेचना है. वो product बेचने के लिए वो brand बड़ा होना चाहिए. Brand बड़ा होने के लिए उसको investment करना चाहिए. Investment के लिए पैसा चाहिए. पैसे के लिए sales चाहिए. Sales के लिए retail चाहिए. So it's a vicious cycle that you are not able to create on your own. A lot of brands struggle with this. How did, और are you just saying कि पहले एक दुकान में 2 प्रोडक्ट्स ही रखो और फिर उसको 3 लेके जाओ, फिर 4 लेके जाओ? कैसे किया आपने? हाउ डिड यू?
हमारे टाइम में थोड़ा इजी था. हमारे टाइम में ब्रांड ज़्यादा नहीं थे. हमें ये क्लियरली पता था, हु इज़ माई फर्स्ट कंज्यूमर, हु इज़ माई फर्स्ट कस्टमर. माई फर्स्ट कस्टमर इज़ द रिटेलर.
ओके.
माई फर्स्ट कस्टमर इज़ नॉट द कंज्यूमर. रिटेलर के यहाँ मेरा माल रखूँगा तो वो मेरा माल बेच देगा, उसको मार्जिन अच्छा दूंगा. उस समय मल्टीनेशनल बहुत कम मार्जिन देते हैं उन दिनों. अब तो वो लोग भी सब स्कीम देना और मार्जिन देना सीख गए. उन दिनों वो 10-12%, 15% से ज़्यादा मार्जिन नहीं देते थे. हम 30-35% मार्जिन देते थे. हमें पता था, वी वर वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट दैट आवर वंस अ कंज्यूमर बाइज आवर प्रोडक्ट, दे विल बाय इनटू अस अगेन. वी हैव दैट मच कॉन्फिडेंस. रिपीट पे कॉन्फिडेंस शुरू से था, पहले दिन से, 1988 से, उस समय से था. तो रिपीट पे कॉन्फिडेंस पूरा था. तो केवल मेरे को पहुंचाना है कंज्यूमर तक प्रोडक्ट. पहुंचाने का जरिया क्या है? मेरा रिटेलर को अच्छा मार्जिन दो, अच्छी स्कीम दो, रिटेलर मेरा माल लेगा. उस समय 100 ब्रांड्स नहीं थे जो सब मार्जिन और स्कीम देने के लिए तैयार हैं आज के दिन. तो अब रिटेलर चूज करता है आपको. पहले रिटेलर के पास चॉइसेस नहीं था, अब रिटेलर आपको चूज करता है. रिटेलर के पास 100 स्किन केयर क्रीम बेचने वाले लोग रोज जा रहे हैं. वो चूज करता है, मेरे को इसका लेना है, मेरे को इसका रखना है, ये मार्जिन देता है, ये लॉन्ग टर्म खेल लेगा मेरे साथ, या इसमें मेरे को मुनाफा ज़्यादा है. दे आर लुकिंग एट प्रॉफिट ओनली. दे आर नॉट लुकिंग एट सस्टेनेबिलिटी और प्रॉफिट एंड स्पीड. करेक्ट. स्पीड कि हमारा माल भी जल्दी बिक जाएगा, इसका प्रोडक्ट देखने में भी ठीक है, वॉट एवर. तो ये डिफरेंस, दिस डिफरेंस इज ऑलवेज देयर. इवन टुडे यू विल नॉट बिलीव, फाइंडिंग and getting into more retailers today is much more challenging for us than what it was in 2003, where now we are an advertised brand, we are a promoted brand. उसके बावजूद भी क्योंकि retailers choose करता. But then, okay, in skincare, when you talk about moisturizer, beyond a Unilever and a Nivea, we are 3. Correct. At number 3 now. Correct. So that helps. Now, we just have to reach out to the retailer to stock our stuffs. So for us, the challenge is the GTM strategy. The go-to-market strategy has to be much more stronger. That we are doing, constantly working on it. And that's why we are able to add up, say, about 100,000 outlets every year.
But एक बात बताओ सर, I'm sure जब आपको माल वापस आता था, and returns are painful, right? एक तो recognized sales goes away. Then you have to pay money back. So it's affecting your revenue, it affects cash, it affects planning cycles, it affects working capital. आप बहुत आसानी से इस चीज को बोलते हो कि वो माल वापस आता है, लेकिन बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है.
छोटा ही करता था उसमें. Actually, see, if my talcum business was, say, 100,000 pieces, that I used to do 2,000, 3,000. The quantum was not so big that it will hamper my overall profitability. That was the thing. I was taking very small risks. Because as I said, those 12 years, I was really a very content person, so to say. Very content in the way कि हमारा दाल रोटी का जुगाड़ हो रहा है, घूमने फिरने 2-3 बार जा पा रहे हैं फैमिली को लेके. That is good enough.
Wow. So you went from 88 to 2003 was 3 crores. And 20 years from 3 crores to 500 plus. Like, what has that journey been like?
So, as I said, 2003, we went to Baddi because of this exemption thing, no? So, when I went there, I had a space that was costing me 80,000 rupees rent per month. That was almost 10 lakhs, and the overheads which I had to bear, almost about 40-50 lakhs overall overheads. Then 3 crore business will not be sufficient
To absorb this.
Because the main aim to go there was to, avail of the excise exemption and the income tax benefits and all those stuffs. So what to do? So then we started exploring other products. Then we went into body lotions, face packs, face washes, face masks. Yeah, 2004 onwards, the moment we entered Baddi, then our horizon was expanding. So we needed to produce more so that we keep our factory busy. We are able to, meet our overheads. That was the challenge. So to meet our overheads, we started new products. So so that,
I cannot even imagine this kind of business, or I cannot imagine. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. Ki now we have a asset overhead. And उस asset overhead को utilization solve करने के लिए, and I cannot imagine how you would have thought about it.
Yeah, true. And
in a market that was
being very honest. So it's very difficult to speak here. But this way, being very honest. So that was the real idea. Because otherwise, तो हम 3 crore के business में बहुत happy थे. I was making 50 lakhs then in 3 crore का business before I went to Baddi. But then that overheads was killing me. All that 50 lakhs was going out.
Correct.
So what to do? So we have to produce more products. And so getting into new categories, we got in. So all those, and you'll not believe that 2004 to 2011 was such a beautiful journey, because those 7 years we did around 35 products. And you'll not believe 80% of the products are still alive today and they're doing wonders for us.
Those are so the 88 to 2001 journey was what we call PMF, or you say you have the right to.
I say this is a learning. That was my learning phase or a foundation phase.
You also must have built relationships with trade.
Lot of relationships.
आप इतना travel करते थे.
Yeah.
Also, I think this FMCG promoter community, especially in Northern India, this relationship-driven building is very tight. It's very hard to get
even today also. So hard to believe, but even today also it works.
And then 2001 to 2004 is when you went from a cyclical business to a bicyclical business. You said, I have a summer product and then I have a winter product also.
Correct.
Then 2004 onwards, you decided to sweat your manufacturing facility. So that was 7 years of sweating an asset and trading 35 products. But the amazing part of that is that even when you want to sweat an asset, sometimes you can be a little, ये भी करो, ये भी launch करो, but 80% of those products are still alive. So you were very thoughtful about how to enter the market.
Yeah, so the clarity was very much there always that we are a mass brand. So we'll not enter into categories we are very flamboyant, and most of the mass consumers may not be buying them.
Like what are the things that you said, नहीं ये नहीं करेंगे?
बहुत कुछ ऐसा आता था, आज भी आता है. आज भी ऐसे प्रोडक्ट्स मेरे पास, मेरे लैंडस्केप पे ऐसे प्रोडक्ट्स आते हैं. स्किन केयर में तो ऐसा कुछ भी हो रहा है जो हम बहुत इजीली कर सकते हैं. वी हैव द बैंडविड्थ टू प्रोड्यूस एनीथिंग बिकॉज वी हैव आवर ओन मैन्युफैक्चरीज एंड आवर ओन R&D and all our own packaging development centers, everything. But then we abstain because we know that we have to build the core. We have to continue to strengthen our core instead of getting into too many things.
ये बहुत डिफिकल्ट है करना सर, बिकॉज ये टेम्पटेशन
ईजी होता है. देखो हमारे FMCG बिजनेस में, हमारे स्किन केयर बिजनेस में सबसे बड़ा चीज़ क्या है कि इट्स लाइक आप एक ऐसा दौर आता है जब आप प्रोडक्ट पे प्रोडक्ट बनाते जाते हो, लेकिन आपको एवरी नाउ एंड देन, एवरी सेकेंड ईयर, थर्ड ईयर आपको बॉटम बॉक्सिंग करना चाहिए.
बॉटम बॉक्सिंग मतलब
बॉटम बॉक्सिंग करना चाहिए कि आपका जो लॉन्ग टेल होता जाता है ना, उसको काटते जाओ. उसको अगर काटते नहीं जाओगे तो आपका टेल बड़ा होते जाएगा, एंड योर टेल विल पुल यू बैक बिकॉज ऑफ द इन्वेंटरीज ब्लॉकेड. So even today, we continue to do, and now our bottom boxing exercise is annual. Earlier it was 2-3 yearly. Now it is annual. At the end of almost every year, it's a rule that will eliminate bottom 10% of the products.
Because they are holding you back.
Sales वाले हमें बोलते हैं सर ये तो चल रहा है, इसको क्यों बंद करो? Because they are getting some numbers. We said nothing doing. You didn't bring in the numbers for this product. You didn't do justice to this product. Now we are eliminating this from our system. It is so simple. We will mandatorily do it so that ऊपर आपके पास अच्छी चीजें आती रहेंगी. You continue to do that. So something which have skipped this year, getting bottom box because 10% के लिस्ट में नहीं आया, वो शायद थोड़ा ऊपर था, वो अगले साल निकल जाएगा, उसको निकलना ही है.
So that product has to really sweat for you.
That product has to work. And the team also knows that भाई इसका नंबर अगर पूरा नहीं लाएंगे तो अगले बार ये जाएगा, तो इसको बचा के रखना है, नहीं तो ये मेरा नंबर जाएगा. So something like a body deodorant we used to do. I was doing 10 crores of business in body deodorant
Per year.
till last year. And it was not a focus category for
What is
us
the name
at
of the
all.
brand का नाम क्या था?
X-Men.
X-Men, हाँ.
And it was not at all a focus category for us, but it was getting numbers. Last year हमने हटा दिया उसको सिस्टम से, नहीं चाहिए हमको, हमारा फोकस को डिफरेंट. नंबर चेजिंग का गेम, तो नंबर चेजिंग इज द एंडलेस गेम.
करेक्ट.
जब तक आप जिएंगे, हम नंबर चेज करते रहेंगे. नंबर चेजिंग इज द एंडलेस गेम. हमें ये पता होना चाहिए हमारा पर्पस क्या है, व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू बिल्ड. वी आर ट्राइंग टू बिल्ड एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन विच हैज टू बी सस्टेनेबल and perpetual. We're trying to build a business which has to be there even if I'm not there.
Correct.
So for that to happen, you have to sow these seeds, that you have to, you have to keep seeding, nurturing them and making them grow. The categories which you identify are going to be your hero categories or the core categories.
Correct.
So initial stage में लेकिन आपको क्या चाहिए, critical mass चाहिए. तो उस समय सोचते हैं ये भी थोड़ा नंबर दे रहा है, ये भी थोड़ा नंबर दे रहा है, सब लाओ, सब बनाओ.
Correct.
सब कुछ है. But as you grow in life, as you grow in business, you have to do this exercise of bottom boxing. That is very important.
ये आपका खुद का टर्म पहली बार सुन रहा हूँ मैं ये टर्म.
हमें तो किसी ने सिखाया, मैंने भी खुद इजाद नहीं किया.
It's very self-explanatory.
Yeah, I mean, so you have to. So bottom boxing is one of the very important exercise in our business. We have to. And you feel like somebody is taking away something from you, because जब हम करते हैं ना, आप बिलीव नहीं करोगे, अभी भी लास्ट मंथ ओनली आई वॉज डूइंग फॉर दिस एक्सपोर्ट बिजनेस विच वी डू इन अ डिफरेंट ब्रांड. सो वॉज डूइंग, आई एलिमिनेटेड सम प्रोडक्ट्स. सो दैट गाय लिटरली फॉट विथ मी, माई मैनेजर लिटरली फॉट विथ मी. अरे ये तो मैं इस साल नहीं हुआ, इस साल कोविड का इफेक्ट ज़्यादा था, अगले साल ये चलेगा, अब इसको. आई गिव यू 3 months वार्निंग, 3 months प्रोबेशन पे, 3 महीना का वार्निंग पे है, वार्निंग पेस पे. 3 महीने में इतना धंधा आएगा तो ठीक है, नहीं तो 3 महीने बाद उड़ा दूंगा. वी हैव टू बी वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट विद दिस. It's a very important aspect.
Yeah, because you're right. Because only you would know, or only the CEO would know the return on invested capital maths for a particular product individually. Because for the team, it is a top line number, but for you, it's a ROIC number, right?
Sir, focus is very important. This business can only grow. क्या होता है, आपका नंबर एवरी ईयर आ जाएगा, टारगेट का 80-90% अचीव हो जाएगा, जो भी टारगेट आपके होते हैं. नंबर आ रहा है, बट रैंडमली आ रहा है, कभी किसी चीज़ से, कभी किसी चीज़ से, किसी को माल ठोक दिया, किसी को माल दे दिया, कोई ने खरीद लिया, आपका नंबर आ जा रहा है. बट आर यू गेटिंग दोज नंबर फॉर द 4-5 हीरो कैटेगरीज विच यू आइडेंटिफाइड? दैट कैटेगरीज हैव टू शो अप. People should know after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years that this brand means this.
That is such a valuable thing. So what does joy stand for? It cannot stand for one thing if you are selling 30 things.
Yeah.
Or in the consumer.
But then people should know that joy means skincare. Joy means moisturizers.
Natural.
Joy means face washes. Joy means sunscreens. These are the 3-4 categories where we strongly try to work upon. These are the categories we are trying to build up. And we are one of the very few Indian companies who are working on skincare in this manner. All our competitors, so-called competitors, are majorly these multinationals. So in the mass space, I'm saying, in the mass space where we work, we have only multinationals around us. We are the only homegrown company, I believe, or maybe a few more.
हमारे बोर्ड ने भी हमको सर यही बोला था कि हम लोग 70-80 लाख कर देते महीने का. तो बोर्ड ने बोला बहुत कम है, थोड़ा बढ़ाओ इसको, इतना पैसा रेस किया, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. तो हमने सेम थिंग, हमने सोचा कि प्रोडक्ट बिजनेस बनाना है, मतलब लेट्स गेट इनटू मेनी कैटेगरीज. बियर्ड में चले गए, हेयर ऑयल्स में चले गए, शैम्पूज, कंडीशनर्स, बनाना तो सब कुछ आता है. Went and now we had like a 200 product का assortment, 200, and we were doing 2.5 crores a month. तो हो गया 70 लाख से 2.5 करोड़ पर मंथ पे चला गया, 30 करोड़ की कंपनी हो गई 4 साल में. बोर्ड भी थोड़ा बहुत खुश है. लेकिन जब कोविड हिट हुआ, then one of the people on the board, Nikhil Vora, was at 6 Sense, very smart consumer guy. Well, Shantanu, we have grown, but I have a feeling that what Bombay Shaving Company stands for, no one will know what the right answer is.
True.
तो कितना भी मार्केटिंग कर ले, कितना भी कुछ कर ले, वॉट यू स्टैंड फॉर. बॉम्बे शेविंग कंपनी नाम देखते या सुनते ही 10 कंज्यूमर 10 अलग चीज़ बोलेंगे. तुम थोड़ा एक्सपेरिमेंट करके देखो. तो कोविड में बेच नहीं पा रहे थे, तो वी गॉट सम टाइम टू थिंक, एंड यू आर राइट. समवन वाज सेइंग ये शेविंग क्रीम है, समवन वाज सेइंग ये शेविंग फोम है, समवन वाज सेइंग ये प्रीमियम स्टार्टअप है. तो नाउ यू सडनली एवरीथिंग. So when you are everything for everyone, you are nothing for anyone.
Yeah, true, absolutely.
So then we said कि यार हम क्या हैं? फिर हमने hair removal पे focus किया. We are a good hair removal brand. Shaving नहीं है. Shaving is one element of hair removal, but सर के बाल निकालने हैं, eyebrow trim करना है, जो भी बदन पे कोई बाल निकालना है आपको, men या women, we can do build. So that's when we became a lot more focused. But it's very hard to be focused at such a large scale.
So, and I always say to my team and everyone in the organization that knowing what not to do is equally important. हमारे बिजनेस में इतना डिस्ट्रैक्शंस है, इतना अपॉर्चुनिटीज. अब आप एक स्टेज पे हो, अभी एक अच्छे स्टेज पे हो बिजनेस के, सब कुछ अच्छा हरा हरा दिख रहा है. सो यूड लाइक टू डू मेनी थिंग्स, नो, देयर इज सो मच ऑफ डिस्ट्रैक्शन. Then at this point you have to be very smart enough to know what we should not be doing. You have the resources, you have the money, you know the business by the back of your hand. So you'll try to get into many things in one go. No, it's better to do more bottom boxing. Then the real thing will come up.
When did you professionalize the business, sir? Because you talk about your nephew.
That process is constantly on. So from a homegrown business to a completely professional business is a long journey. So we are in the middle of that journey. So 2010-11 onwards, precisely 2011, we had our first national sales head for GT. Those time MT and e-commerce was not there. So 2011 then.
तब तक आप करते थे सारा.
My nephew has been with me, my Sanjay. So he has been with me. He was barely into his teens. He's about 6-7 years younger than me.
Is he the son of the timber brother?
No.
He's not.
We are 4 brothers.
Okay.
So I am the youngest one.
Okay.
So he is the son of my third brother. Eldest brother was in timber business.
Oh, the timber.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So the third brother, he has 2 sons. So both the sons are in this business. The elder one is into finance. He is looking after the finance side of the business.
Correct.
And the younger one is the managing director. He is managing the business now. So he has been much more passionate than what I am. So he doesn't know anything beyond this business. He will not have his family life also. He is not doing that work-life balance thing also. I keep complaining. But his wife has also gone into his mode. Now she's also helping him out in many things. She's looking after the IT part of our business. So that is the way. So he's very passionate. So he's deeply into it. He's much younger. So I keep telling him that have something of your own. Do something for yourself as well.
Wow. But how did it feel to work with like family or like? It's very interesting uncle-nephew relationship. But I think in the Marwadi community or I've seen this with like Calcutta, Rajasthan, this where the whole family, joint family is very close, right? I'm a Maharashtrian, so for me it's difficult for me to imagine. I come from a nuclear family setup.
So I don't know. I mean, for us, even you talk about the family. For us, the people who are working with us, people like Polomi and all other people who have joined the organizations at certain points, they're also part of an extended family. This is the way. I mean, so that's whenever people ask me that, have you completely professionalized your business? So we say it is a homegrown professional business. So into the process.
Once the business takes off, then
but then that you set an example for the team, for the entire organization, that this is one of the few companies who have not allowed anybody to leave the organization during COVID times. So we are very uncertain, not knowing when is the next load of money going to come from. बट कोविड में भी हमारा बिजनेस कम नहीं हुआ, थैंकफुली, जबकि हमारा ऑनलाइन उस समय 0 था.
हाँ,
कोविड में ही तो ऑनलाइन इमर्ज हुआ, लेकिन हमारा उस समय तक शुरू नहीं किया था मैंने.
तो फिर
सो कोविड जब आया उस ईयर भी हम लोगों ने 5% से ग्रोथ किया.
कैसे?
प्रोडक्ट का स्ट्रेंथ इतना है. उस साल मैंने मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट किया, क्योंकि प्रमोशंस नहीं किया मैंने उस साल, टीवी पे भी ऐड नहीं डाला, कि पता नहीं था ना उस समय पैसा कंजर्व करना था, पता नहीं था फ्यूचर क्या होने वाला है. तो मनी को कंजर्व करना उस समय, केवल आने दो, जाने मत दो जल्दी से कुछ भी. सो वी वेर लेस ऑन स्पेंडिंग्स, हमने स्पेंड्स कम किए, रेवेन्यू हमारा 5% ज़्यादा आया. सो वी मेड लॉट ऑफ मनी. एंड प्रोडक्ट, यस, रेयर एग्जाम्पल, प्रोडक्ट में मेरिट था, कंज्यूमर ने प्रोडक्ट लिया हमारा.
पर दुकानें तो बंद थी आफ्टर लाइक
दुकान पूरा 12 महीना नहीं था. देखो क्या होता है, हमारा मॉइस्चराइजर इज माय मेन बिजनेस. और thankfully whenever these waves came, they came during summers. So that helped in the way that our business was secure. We got our complete business during winters. So दोनों वेव ऐसे टाइम पे आया जब समर मंथ्स था, तो उसमें हमको ज़्यादा इम्पैक्ट नहीं हुआ. बट देन आफ्टर दिस कोविड फिनोमेना मिनिमाइज्ड, देन वी थॉट लेट्स गेट इनटू दिस ऑनलाइन थिंग. यार ये ऑनलाइन तो बहुत बढ़ गया.
D2C में फैन सेटिंग पे आप देख रहे थे ना कि
ऑनलाइन तो बहुत बढ़ गया, तो अभी ऑनलाइन को सीड करते हैं.
हाँ.
So started now we're doing almost 100 crores
only online
in 3 years. We started first year we did 2 crores, then 25. No, fourth year, I think fourth year, this will be the fourth year. 1, 2, around 18, 20, 40. Now this year we'll do around 100 crores. प्रोडक्ट मेरिट है, हम ज़्यादा स्पेंड भी नहीं कर रहे अलग से कुछ ऑनलाइन के लिए, डिजिटल पे या ऐसा.
वही कस्टमर है ना, जो
वही कस्टमर है वो. हाँ,
वो कभी कभी.
सो अभी हमारा अवेलेबिलिटी और अच्छा हो गया. फॉर अस, you know, we are reaching out to somebody sitting in Goa or in Kerala. We are not doing South India, by the way, yet in GT. So you'll not believe my 15% of the consumers are in Bangalore. And we have never ever stepped into Bangalore to sell our stuffs. Can you believe it?
What are you saying?
Yeah. Online, my 15% business is in Bangalore. And we have never ever went there to do any propaganda, mass media or any promotion or any general trade.
पर वहाँ पे बिकता होगा ना जनरल ट्रेड पे.
लोगों ने टीवी पे देखा है, प्रोडक्ट देखा, कभी यूज किया.
होलसेल मार्केट होगा.
कुछ पे नहीं, कभी हमने किया ही नहीं, हम गए ही नहीं साउथ इंडिया कभी. सो कंज्यूमर के माइंड स्पेस पे कहीं ना कहीं था, क्योंकि हम 10 साल से हैं मास मीडिया पे.
करेक्ट.
तो कहीं ना कहीं था, लेकिन जब उसको अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली, जब उसको प्रोडक्ट दिखा ऑनलाइन पे, उसने बाय किया, अच्छा लगा, रिपीट किया, लोगों को भी बताया. Maybe that has made it grow. So even we are also surprised as to how this is happening. So this gives us a lot of confidence into our product. As to, yes, for us, I always feel that product has to be the hero for any organization to succeed. Product has to be at the core.
बोलते सब है, करते बहुत कम.
नहीं, हमारे यहाँ तो भैया एकदम 100% है. Product has to be the no compromise. No compromise. Product is the hero. So we always focus on what we are giving than what we are getting. That is the theory. Simple. कंज्यूमर का डिलाइट. कंज्यूमर हमारा प्रोडक्ट खरीदता है मास मार्केट प्राइस पे, जब उसको यूज़ करता है बोलता है यार ये तो सोना है. वो मेरा इन्फ्लुएंसर बनता है यार. हमको इन्फ्लुएंसर के पास जाने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं, वही मेरा प्रमोटर है.
वर्ड ऑफ माउथ.
वर्ड पे आज भी बोलता है. मैं मेरे सर्कल के लोगों को जब देता हूँ, वो तो मास मार्केट वाले कंज्यूमर्स नहीं है. मेरे सर्किल के लोगों को जब मैं मेरे प्रोडक्ट्स यूज़ करने देता हूँ, तो वो तो मेरे कंज्यूमर एक्चुअली नहीं हैं, वो तो थोड़े प्रीमियम निश वाले हैं. उनको जब देता हूँ बोलते हैं यार तुम्हारा प्रोडक्ट तो अच्छा है, तो इसका प्राइस क्यों नहीं बढ़ाता है.
करेक्ट. We never did it.
Yeah. So they say, because they don't know branding, marketing, but they say very casually, you will pay more price, you are leaving money on the table.
Correct. Have you ever been tempted?
Huh?
Have you been tempted?
No.
Price increases is something that multinationals love to do, ना? मतलब price बढ़ाओ.
Mass
profitability.
Mass market reaching out to more number of consumers. That is the funda. Now 900,000 outlets से आप 2 million outlets पे जब जाओगे, जब आपका मास मार्केट प्रोडक्ट होगा, जब आप मास डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, हमारा गेम वेरी क्लियर है. हम अपने प्रोडक्ट लाइन में प्रीमियमाइजेशन फॉर लास्ट फ्यू ईयर्स वी स्टार्टेड डूइंग, लास्ट 4-5 years. Beyond these honey creams and skin fruit creams and all, we have some of the emerging products as well. We are slightly premium. I'll not say very premium. Slightly premium that the offerings which we do, even those products are doing good. Like something like charcoal face wash. We started doing.
Oh, very good.
Very well. It's next to Ponds.
बढ़िया product है सर वो तो.
It's next to Ponds, I'm telling you.
आपने हमारा ट्राई किया charcoal face wash?
आप दे दोगे आज तक?
हाँ ज़्यादा हमारा. I would love feedback from you on the product because
sure.
Even that charcoal face wash for us is now I think 3-3.5 lakh ट्यूब बेचते हैं महीने का.
Very good. Very good.
सही. I'll tell you what, हमको हमारे बोर्ड ने बोला था कि तुम हेयर रिमूवल और
आपको सब चीज बोर्ड बोलता है ना, इसलिए आपको पुश कर देता है वो. हम लोगों को यही फ्रीडम है.
हमने बोर्ड is where we have a lot of the strategic discussions in the board. So for example they told us कि यार तुम फेस वॉश क्यों कर रहे हो, हमने तो बोला था कि फोकस करना है, हेयर रिमूवल ये वो। तो देन हमने सोचा थोड़ा सा कि बात तो सही बोल रहे हैं, लेकिन चारकोल फेस वॉश क्यों चला? बिकॉज हमारा चारकोल शेविंग फोम और चारकोल शेविंग चल रहा था,
कैटेगरी।
हाँ। लेकिन क्या है, इंडिया हैज 1.2 बाथरूम्स पर हाउस होल्ड ब्रॉडली। एक ही बाथरूम में सबका सामान भरा होता है। अब घर में शेवर एक आदमी होता है, इज द फादर ऑफ द हाउस यूजली, किड्स आर यंगर, मदर डजंट शेव, तो शेविंग क्रीम इज ओनली यूज्ड बाय वन पर्सन, वो भी इतनी सी दिन में, 2 दिन में एक बार। तो हमने बोला उसी ट्यूब में, उससे लाइक उसी फ्रेग्रेंस का प्रोडक्ट अगर है वहाँ पे बाजू में, विच इज़ अ फेस वॉश, वो घर के 4-5 लोग यूज़ करेंगे। जो शेवर है वो तो उसको यूज़ करेगा ही, बिकॉज इट्स सेम जगह लगानी है वो चीज़, फ्रेग्रेंस सेम रखते हैं, प्रोडक्ट सेम रखते हैं, मतलब ट्यूब सेम रखते हैं, ताकि कंज्यूमर को लगे कि दिस इज अ यूनिक इंटरेस्टिंग कजिन प्रोडक्ट है इसका, जबकि है नहीं। शेविंग क्रीम एंड फेस वॉश आर 2 डिफरेंट कैटेगरी, बट द वे इट सिट्स इन द बाथरूम इज लाइक अ कजिन। तो नाउ दैट सेम बाथरूम इज रिप्लेनिशिंग द फेस वॉश एवरी मंथ, द शेविंग क्रीम एवरी 3 months। एंड देन वी रियलाइज कि यार हाउस होल्ड पेनिट्रेशन में गए, बाथरूम पेनिट्रेशन में फिर फेस वॉश पेनिट्रेट्स मच क्विकर देन शेविंग क्रीम, इट्स ओके। एंड देन दैट्स हाउ वी काइंड ऑफ रियलाइज्ड, देन वी लॉन्च्ड fragrances and colognes because we felt कि हमारा आफ्टर शेव अच्छा चलता है, so उसी बॉटल में उसी फ्रेग्रेंस का, that's how we went ahead। But I completely agree with you, I think, but it's very interesting sir कि आप you believe in bottom boxing of products but you believe in a long tail of retail distribution। 900,000 to 2 million, you can't bottom box a retailer।
In India, mom and pop stores will never go. General trade will not go. So because there was a lot of thought when this, you are new into this business, 8 years you said, when this organized retail started, you know, this modern trade phenomena, तो उस समय ऐसा हवा था कि सब कुछ मॉडर्न ट्रेड बन जाएगा, जनरल ट्रेड विल गो। उस समय भी ऐसा ही हल्ला आया था जैसा ऑनलाइन पे आया, सब लोग यही बोलते थे मॉडर्न ट्रेड सबको खा जाएगा, मॉडर्न ट्रेड में लोग जा रहे हैं, एयर कंडीशन में लोगों को शॉपिंग करने का एक्सपीरियंस मिल रहा है, डिस्काउंट्स भी सामने डिस्प्ले पे भी है, 20% ऑफ, 25% ऑफ, पीपल विल बाय ओनली फ्रॉम मॉडर्न ट्रेड, रिटेल मर जाएगा, जनरल रिटेल मर जाएगा। एक जगह जाके वो प्लेटो हो गया, 12-13% पे जाके प्लेटो हो गया। हर जगह ब्रिक एंड मॉर्टर कितना बनाओगे आप, टियर 2 टियर 3 में कहाँ बनाओगे, कहीं ना कहीं जाके तो आपको रुकना ही है। एंड देन दे हैड देयर ओन स्ट्रगल्स। Same thing with online. See, no matter what you do, I don't see more than 70% business will continue to remain even after 10 years with the general trade. Because in India, there is a lot of consumption of smaller SKUs.
Yeah.
So people take examples of Middle East, European countries and others where modern trade has evolved,
Correct.
Online business has evolved. But then when you talk about a country like India, it's a unique country. You have to understand there are 20 layers. There are not 3 classes, upper class, middle class, lower class. ऐसा नहीं है. हर class के अंदर 10 class है.
Correct.
Right. So
और consumption pattern
और consumption pattern इतना different है, region wise, सब कुछ wise. It's very difficult. You have to cater to, you have to be smaller SKU consumption. Imagine something like a shampoo, 65 ml consumption with those 2 rupee pouches.
It's crazy.
Crazy. So how do you build? Where do you sell your shampoo?
Correct.
Where do you sell? Online? Modern trade? You will not sell these things. You have to go to a general trade.
Correct.
So smaller SKUs play a very important role in Indian landscape because consumers are buying into too many stuffs with a limited budget. So they have to buy everything, say 30 odd things, personal care, 30 odd things in food and all, and 20 other things. So about 100 things with 5 रुपए 10 रुपए में मिले, उसका 2-3 हज़ार में काम हो जाना चाहिए. So where do they go? They go to the kirana.
Yeah. You think quick commerce is genuine?
I'm amazed. I don't think it will survive.
I'm very, you don't think it will survive because of consumer behavior? Or
No, because it will survive till it is getting funded.
You think economics won't work?
It will never work. It will never.
Say more?
It will never work. I always feel that this will never work. Because see, there also, you need to have a cap. You need to have a average basket size cap at least. Average selling price of one particular consignment. If you still, if you continue to sell 80 रुपए का एक छोटा सा कुछ ऑर्डर दिया, वो भी आपके यहाँ डिलीवरी हो रहा है, you will not survive. How can you? Somebody is doing it for you. Some quick commerce company is doing for your products.
Correct.
You are very happy. But think that you do your own setup to do that.
Impossible.
कर सकते हैं. 80 रुपए में कोई को डिलीवरी देने जाओगे क्या? डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर का 5,000 रुपए का ऑर्डर आता है तो हमारा लोग बोलता है कि मैं टेम्पो नहीं निकालूंगा. आप 80 रुपए का कंज्यूमर को जाके दे के आओगे माल और पैसे बनाओगे. हाउ?
कंज्यूमर की तरह से बोल रहा हूँ, फॉर एग्जाम्पल
कंज्यूमर, सी इट इज अ वेरी गुड थिंग फॉर कंज्यूमर्स। ये आपको
आदत लग रही है सर।
आदत नहीं, आपको निकम्मा बना दे रहा है। आपको निकम्मा बना दे रहा है। आप सामने में कोक मिल रही है आपके, लेकिन आप यहाँ बैठे बैठे ऑर्डर दे रहे हो, पीछे से आके आपको दे रहा है 8 मिनट में। यू आर वेरी हैप्पी।
आईफोन 15 भी तो बिक रहा है ना सर, 2-2 लाख की चीज तो बिक रही है ना उस पर।
कितने दिन बिकेगा? सी आई डोंट सी quick commerce having a future. Quick commerce can work only in metros.
Possibly.
Metros and tier 1, maybe maximum. But again, it will not have legs to go to tier 2, tier 3.
But tier 2, tier 3 is more very car concentrated more than metros. Metros are spread out. Traffic.
Tier 2, tier 3 इंडिया में इतना अच्छा लोगों का टाइम पास होता है जब वो रिटेलर के पास जाता है, 5 मिनट अपने घर की बात करता है उसके साथ, वो सारा चीज खत्म नहीं होने वाला इतना जल्दी।
That is true. It's a lifestyle thing. You're right.
Ultimately, you are a social animal. You need to socialize. For them, our type of socializing is not happening in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 towns.
Correct.
So their socializing is now going to a retailer, going out shopping, going out
नाई की दुकान में
बच्चों को स्कूल से लाना and all those stuffs. So you can't have gadgets for everything. This is what I feel. I mean,
you're right. We were in the same discussion with Radhika also last week around how a lot of this convenience is making, and I know we are kind of departing from, but you're also a father of children in that generation and so on. So she was saying कि हम लोग अभी ऐसे हो गए हैं कि हर चीज़ के लिए एक सर्विस है, कि फॉर एग्जांपल अभी यंग बच्चे 25, 26, 27 साल के बच्चे हमारे ऑफिस में भी है, महीने का 10,000 रुपये जोमेटो स्विगी पे, तो खाना खुद बनाना है नहीं, जोमेटो स्विगी पे आ जाता है 10 मिनट में, आधे घंटे में आ जाता है। हेल्दी चाहिए, हेल्दी मिल जाता है, वट आपको अगर ग्रोसरीज चाहिए तो जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, घर पे आ जाता है। आपको अगर एजुकेशन चाहिए तो स्कूल में जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, ऐप पे मिल जाता है। सो नाउ एवरीथिंग इज़ कमिंग टू यू, बट आर यू देन डेवलपिंग द एबिलिटी टू बिकम एन अडल्ट, टू बिकम अ सोशल एनिमल, टू बिकम अ प्रोडक्टिव ह्यूमन बीइंग? कम हो रहा है, बट पता नहीं
सर अटेंशन टाइम स्पैन कम होता जा रहा है कंज्यूमर लोगों का। अभी जो जनरेशन है, अटेंशन टाइम स्पैन कम होते जा रहा है। Actually, we are creating a restless generation. You ordered something on Swiggy or something, and it has not come in 10 minutes. You start getting restless. Why it has not come? You get mad after 5 minutes, more 5 minutes. 15 minutes होते होते तो you get mad, and then 20th minute if that guy comes up, you maybe end up shouting on him. इतना लेट क्यों किया यार? 8 मिनट दिखा रहा था. So what we are creating? It was so easy. Just go down and buy it from there.
But anyway, I agree with that. Do you think it's like this, in general, you're right. It's a distracted generation. It is an impatient generation. It is...
So biggest thing which I feel is impatience and restlessness will continue to grow.
It's not healthy for the mind, no?
So there are many online now yoga teachers and teachers who are, asking you to train your mind to be less restless.
So that is also online.
So that is also online. Do. पहले अपना रायता फैलाओ फिर उसको समेटो.
But talk I was reading about your spirituality journey as well. Like, is it a function of age? Is it a function of perspective? Is it a function of now stage of life where you feel like you are exploring bigger aspects of...
See, I always feel if you really want to have a good life, so you should have these 4 things that will make a very good life for you. I always feel. So you should have a very good clarity of thought. And always you should have a purity of your heart. Your heart has to be very pure. And anything which you do, sincerity of action, which I say, anything which you do, whatever you are doing, there has to be a very sincere effort in that. And ultimately, end of the day, you should have spiritual consciousness. Then only in this world you can survive. Otherwise, we human beings are made up of body, mind, soul. How are we going to survive? It's very difficult. You need to have these 4 aspects. Clarity of thought, purity of heart, and sincerity, in work, whatever we are doing, and the spiritual consciousness. These 4 stuffs are very important. And these are over generations, across generations. 1000 साल पहले भी यही वैलिड था, 1000 साल बाद भी यही वैलिड रहेगा. हम लोग वही चीज़ देखना जो सस्टेनेबल है, और जो perpetual है. So what has survived 1,000 years and what will, those things only will survive after 1,000 years. That is where we take a lead. That spiritual consciousness part, the purity of heart part, sincerity of action part. Those all stuffs, when you start, dissecting these lines, you'll understand, yes, these four form the core for a good life. No matter which generation you are in. 1960s में पैदा हुए या 2023 में पैदा हुए.
Yeah.
Works out same for everyone.
There's always so much wisdom in the things that like our forefathers would kind of do, right? I read a very interesting quote the other day about how children think about their parents. So at the age of 5, you think your parents are superheroes, right? At the age of 15, you think that they are a pain in the ass. At the age of 25, you feel that your parents don't make any sense, unko sikhana padega. At 35, you feel that actually my parents did make sense. At 45, you again come back to my parents are superheroes.
I know.
Right? So it's a full cycle. It's a full cycle. It's so true.
It's true.
Because now I'm 35, 36, I'm 36. And I remember 10 years back, I was thinking my parents, they are not woke enough. They don't understand homosexuality. They don't understand concept of feminism. They don't understand their relationship with money is not right. All of those things. Our parents are amazing people. But as 25, I thought कि मेरे को सब आता है. अब today, 10 years later, I feel कि यार वो सही बोलते थे यार. सब कुछ लाइफ टाइम पे प्लान करो. This is what you should do in terms of your health. All of those things now I have started feeling, yeah, my parents knew exactly what they were talking about. But you're right. But tell me about your journey for joy from 500 to 1,000. You speak about that a lot. I read about that a lot. After 37 years of running a business, of building such an empire, of creating so many success stories at an individual level, at a product level, at an organization level, you look very young. I'm assuming that comes down to Manu's gifting of the Bombay Shaving Company, but I'm assuming that is what, I will take the shameless plug aside, but you still have, after 37 years of building a business, ambition that is very unbridled. So talk about how...
See, you will not believe, मैं आज भी ऑफिस जाता हूँ ना, मैं उसी चाइल्ड लाइक एंथुजियाज्म से जाता हूँ, उसी पैशन से जाता हूँ. पता नहीं, I don't know, something, I still feel there is a lot to do, still. And sometimes, I tell my younger generation, मेरे को यार वापस 25-26 साल का बना दो, मेरे को 30-35 साल और काम करना है. It's like that. So, yes, so we have aims. See, numbers are just milestones, basically. So, I always feel that this is an infinite journey. So,
you speak about infinite, perpetual.
Always. It is so, see, if we are trying to seed something which will be visible only during our lifetime, then we are being a little mean. We have to set up a vision beyond ourselves.
Correct.
That is very important. It has to be an infinite game. So, for that to happen, you have to seed, even in stuffs where today you don't see anything happening maybe in next 2, 3, 4 years time. But then you are seeding something for the future. You will not believe a good context comes into my mind. When 2011 we thought of getting into mass media advertising. That time my business was 51 crores. You will not believe.
In 2011,
my business was 51 crores and I was not spending a single penny on advertising and promotion. Those days का 51 करोड़, आज का तो 1000 करोड़ होगा मेरे ख्याल से.
Correct.
एक पैसे का एडवर्टीजमेंट नहीं था मेरा. प्रोडक्ट मेरिट पे इतना प्रोडक्ट बिकता था 2011 में.
वाओ.
फिर लोग बोलने लगे, सर इससे ज़्यादा अब नहीं हो रहा है, अब तो एडवर्टाइजमेंट करना पड़ेगा. रिटेलर भी बोलता है यार माल तो बिक रहा है. बट देन रिलक्टेंटली आई सेड ओके, लेट्स स्टार्ट, बिकॉज वी वांटेड टू expand our base of consumers, reaching out to more number of consumers. Then we started. So I come to the context. That time, what to promote? Which product? We have to identify one product जिसका TVC बनाएंगे फिर उसको TV पे चलाएंगे. So my moisturizer was almost about 70% of the business, and my face wash was 1 crore. Out of that 51 crores, we invested in face wash.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Seeding, nurturing, growth. Today we are 5th largest in face wash category in 13 years. First year हमने 6 करोड़ रुपया डाला 1 करोड़ के धंधे पे. 1 करोड़ से धंधा अगले साल गया 3 करोड़, फिर डाला 6 करोड़, धंधा 3 करोड़ से गया 4 करोड़, फिर डाला 10 करोड़,
क्या बात कर रहा है,
धंधा आया 6 करोड़ पे, बिजनेस आ रहा है 6 करोड़ का, रेवेन्यू नॉट प्रॉफिट, 6 करोड़ का फेस वॉश बिका, 10 करोड़ के स्पेंड्स के ऊपर और दूसरे स्पेंड्स जो रहे वो अलग, पूरा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मारने को दौड़ रहा है। सर आप पागल हो, मॉइस्चराइजर पे पैसा डालते इतना तो अभी तो 3 गुना हो जाता, हमारा तो पहले से इतना बिक रहा था। नो लेट्स सी इट फॉर फ्यूचर। सो दीज आर सेट एग्जाम्पल्स। आई मीन till 2015 we were big again, a new TVC, and we spent 15 crores 2015. That year my business grew to 8 crores.
फेस वॉश वाला
परेशान थे सब लोग, पूरा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन परेशान था. But by the end of 5th and 6th year, you know what? My entire team started realizing that this guy will relentlessly pursue this. सभी फोकस उधर तो डालना ही पड़ेगा, अभी कोई चॉइस नहीं है.
और 5-6 साल किया आपने
सर, रिजल्ट तो अब आ रहा है.
अभी कितना, हाउ बिग इज फेस वॉश टुडे?
Almost about 200 crores for us.
वाओ, जस्ट फेस वॉश.
Just face washes. So बिजनेस पे आपको फ्यूचरिस्टिक ऑलवेज होना पड़ेगा.
बट डिफिकल्ट है ना ये बहुत
सर आप आइडेंटिफाई, अगर सी रैंडम कुछ भी आप करोगे,
कन्विक्शन आना एक चीज है, पर कन्विक्शन रहना बहुत.
300 करोड़ का कैटेगरी था 2011 में, आज 3000 करोड़ का कैटेगरी है 13 साल में.
तो
पर फेस वॉश कैटेगरी बढ़ेगा
ये पता
ये समझना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि आप ट्रॉपिकल कंट्री में रहते हो. यहाँ पे आदमी के इतने पसीने आते हैं, उसको कहीं भी जाएगा, इतनी धूल मट्टी है, कहीं पे स्कूटर पे आदमी जा रहा है जो आम आदमी जाता है, उसको किसी के ऑफिस में घुसने के पहले एक बार मुंह धोने को मिल जाए तो बहुत हैप्पी हो जाएगा. यू नीड फेस वॉश फॉर एनीवन. सो कैटेगरी वाज वेरी स्मॉल दैट टाइम, बट 300 करोड़ से ये रैपिडली बढ़ना शुरू होगा, ये समझ आ ही रहा था. कैटेगरी क्रिएट तो हो गया ना 300 करोड़ पे जब आ गया तो अब ये बढ़ेगा. यू विल नॉट बिलीव 2016-17 we did 17 or 18 we did a TVC for sunscreens. Then people were asking, why are you doing sunscreen? Sunscreen was again 300 crore category only. But I always have this thought that we, being a very tropical country, very harsh climate, very hot summers, 8 months of summer in most of the parts of India, 8-9 months of summer, आज नहीं तो कल सनस्क्रीन कैटेगरी इंडिया में तो बड़ा होगा. नहीं हुआ. हमने 1 साल चला के उसको बंद भी कर दिया, क्योंकि उसके बाद फिर कोविड आ गया. 2-3 years we said, and nobody was coming out because COVID most of the time struck during summer months. So whatever sunscreens you used to produce, it was stuck in your home, in your office. But you see the explosion of sunscreen, it has happened. After 2020, sunscreen category is exploding madly. It's 1,000 crore plus category already. Every year growing 30, 60, 70%.
Are you serious?
Yes. So you have to use your common sense, nothing else. I believe that your common sense, where we are living, where we are selling, this market, whether it will consume this or not, this category. And now people are getting more educated because thanks to internet, now they are having a look at almost everything which the world is selling. So they will know what relates to my country. They will certainly buy into that at certain point of time. So that if you don't have that futuristic vision as to what can work, that is the work of leaders.
No, I completely.
We need to have that. If you're not able to see beyond what is visible, then you'll only do things which are visible.
No, but sir, it's not common, because if it was common, then 1000 लोग करते ना.
सर appropriate time पे आपको कैटेगरी आइडेंटिफाई करके उसके ऊपर ही फोकस करना होगा. जब एक क्रिटिकल मास पे हमारी जैसी कंपनी आ गई, अब हम रैंडमली कुछ भी काम करेंगे तो एक बार नंबर आएगा, फिर नहीं भी आ सकता. So we are not into that game now, just to get the numbers. We are not funded by anyone. So we don't have to answer to somebody कि इतना पैसा डाला तुमने, कितना किया इसको बढ़ा के, तो वो हमारे को है ही नहीं परेशानी ना. So we are playing a long term game, knowing very well that not running after money. 1 साल बैलेंस शीट में 50 करोड़ प्रॉफिट आता है, अगले साल 10 करोड़ आ जाता है, क्योंकि हमने ज़्यादा स्पेंड कर दिया किसी कैटेगरी के प्रमोशन में. फिर अगले साल 40 करोड़ आ जाता है. So it's like maybe at times this. So but then you have your own decisions. You know the focus where we are targeting. Are we targeting the right area? Are we in the right direction? We have to set the compass and make things run that way.
Have you ever thought of, you alluded to never being funded, but now you are an asset which is very IPOable. I'm sure there's private equity that is after you. There is this kind of profit margin, this kind of consumer love, this kind of...
So what I'll do with money? My business is generating money, a lot of money, and we are plowing back that money into business. That is good enough. मेरी बात सुनो, हम आज भी 20-25% से ग्रो कर रहे हैं year on year after 35 years also. And we are happy with this growth. We don't want the very fertilizer growth. Funding ले लिया 100-200 करोड़ रुपया डाल दिया किसी चीज़ में, एक दिन में बढ़ के अगर मान लो 200 करोड़ का टॉप लाइन और बढ़ गया, उसके बाद तो प्लेटो आउट हो गई कहीं ना कहीं जाके. So let it be a journey. Why we are in a hurry to reach to a certain destination or a milestone? There's no need. So when you set your thought into this, that we are into an infinite game and we are into a game of perpetuity, then you stop thinking in these directions. That इस तारीख तक ये करना है मुझे, नहीं तो मैं मर जाऊंगा. No. इस तारीख तक नहीं हुआ तो 6 महीने और लग जाएंगे. But things will happen. We are into that course. We are into that journey.
But from a, let's say, let me take a lens of diversification of assets logic. कि आप बोल रहे हो कि joy is my only thing and I'm going to plow back all my profits back into it. Then your asset class is singular. But to create some capital out of it and then diversify, because perpetuity can come from diversification also. Have you never thought about it?
So diversification, this business also is giving me a lot of diversification. We have a lot of potential into exports. So
how big is the export business now as percentage?
The export is around 65-70 crores.
Not.
Yeah.
कहाँ पे अफ्रीका में करते हो आप?
Africa, Asia and Africa majorly, and that has the potential to grow to 200 crores in 3 years.
And this is manufactured locally or it's manufactured?
Everything we manufacture ourselves.
No, but in India or over there?
Everything here in India.
And you carry it there?
Everything we manufacture in Baddi. And we pride in saying that we manufacture everything ourselves. We have a strong hold on the quality, consistency of the product. We can do anything at the drop of a hat. अभी peak season चल रहा है winter का. Sudden order आता है 2000 कार्टन ये चाहिए. We can't go to a third party and say बनाएगा. अरे आपने पहले से plan नहीं दिया, 15 दिन लगेगा. We do it the next day. We are always prepared. Because we are own manufacturers. I am setting up another unit which will come up next year at an investment of 90 crores. That will produce 2.5 times of what I am producing today. That has the potential to produce that much. So we are investing in future. Yeah. So we are investing into the future production excellence. Even that part also we are taking care. So then when you have those type of facilities, then you can answer to any requirements from international business, anything which you are not doing domestically, maybe a hair remover or something like a specialized sunscreen or some other products which works in those markets but doesn't work in India as well. But we have access to almost all the R&Ds. So we can always do that when we have our own manufactories.
So, but capital will also lead to diversification from inorganic standpoint. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि यार, instead of building, I would want to buy this business, or I would want to buy this asset, or I would want to buy this company. Have you thought about growing in that angle?
I mean, buying into other brands. To be honest, I always say no. We always feel that we can always do it.
Yeah, build versus buy.
Build versus buy. So we can always build it. And when you buy, a lot of stuff which you don't want to come into your value and ethics system, that also comes with it. So we're very strong value-based organization with a very nice ethics. So ethics form the root of everything which you're doing. So if you're looking at perpetuity, you need to set up that ethics bar very strongly. So that is very strong.
So do you find it hard to let go of control?
Not at all. No. I'm very happy.
Really?
I'm not somebody who will hold on to anything.
Bottom boxing also?
No. I will hold on. I will not hold on to anything. As long as this business is flourishing, this business is having this path which has been set out.
But is it not hard to hand it over to someone like your nephew or to your kids?
Not at all. So why even my family members? I am even ready to hand it over to people who are working with us for so many years. They can take the reins. They can get into the leadership road. They can lead the way for my younger generation maybe. It all depends.
Do you think
so? It is to be handed over to a person who is most capable, so to say.
Capable or trustworthy?
Capable. Trustworthy, everybody is in the organization. As long as they are in the organization, he is a trusted fellow. He doesn't remain in the organization if he is not trusted.
So trust is earned.
Trust is first day. When you sign in, you are trusted.
Interesting. So you are now finding ways to get important part of the business, whether it's export, or
Yeah, even manufacturing. My elder nephew's son, the two brothers, Sanjay and Jitendra. Jitendra is the elder one who looks after the finance.
Okay.
His son is heading the online business, which we seeded 3-4 years back, as I said. So he's heading. हाँ, वो उसको head कर रहा है. अभी उसको मैं manufacturing वाले part में भी थोड़ा उसका experience gather करने के लिए I have advised him that every 2 months you have to travel for a week just to oversee as to what is happening. You have to, maybe initially you don't have to contribute anything, but just to learn as to how our manufacturing works. So for the next 2 years, we will be visiting every alternate month. So this is how we are trying to set them into the business as to all other aspects of business. They should have some hands-on knowledge about everything. I'm not saying you be an expert of everything. You be an expert. Like my son is getting expertise into general trade business. My nephew's son is getting expertise into online business. So those are all their core. But beyond that, they need to know the other aspects of business as well. So that is why we are trying to seed. Even my daughter-in-law is pitching in. She is looking after product development, packaging development, all stuffs. She's very young. She's 25 only. She's doing fabulous. Very nice.
Are you proud feeling, no?
Very proud. Proud of all my people. People first, see, they say no, if you want to have 1 year of prosperity, grow grain, 10 years of prosperity, grow trees, and 100 years of prosperity, grow people. So people resource is the main resource.
It takes a long time.
And for that to happen, you have to first become a people magnet. So that magnetism will come into your people, and they also try to become people magnet over a period of time.
It's hard.
But see, even if it rubs on some of them, it works. So like if a farmer is just throwing up seeds, not everything will get into a plant.
Correct.
Right? So, but you keep throwing up the seeds.
Yeah.
He keeps doing that. So you continue to
invest.
You continue to get into that magnetism zone. And you will find some people, getting magnetized, and they also become magnets. This is how it is.
That's incredible.
Long term. See, basically, what I feel, the relativity will come when you have this thought of having a long term play. Problem क्या है, मेरे को लगता है कि लोग बहुत जल्दी बहुत कुछ करके करना चाहते हैं. मैं बोलता हूँ कर सकते हैं. मेरे पास बहुत पीई वाले आए 2011 के बाद, जब हमारा थोड़ा एडवर्ट शुरू हुआ और थोड़ा धंधा बढ़ने लगा. 51 से 76 से 107 से 140 पट बढ़ा उस टाइम. तभी इतना बढ़ता गया फास्ट 12-13 साल में. तो पीई वाले बहुत आए. बाय 2-3 years टाइम, बाय अराउंड 2015-2016 लोगों को ये समझ में आ गया ये लोग कुछ पैसा लेंगे नहीं. लोग आना बंद कर दिया हमारे पास. उन्हें समझ आ गया इनको नहीं लेना पैसा.
Infinite perpetuity will not happen that way then.
Yeah.
It's all self-seeded. Sanjay sir, I think, like as the whole team here, I must tell you, when we get entrepreneurs like you, जिन्होंने over decades इतनी valuable और बड़ी चीज़ बनाई है, जो brand है, जो it's a life of its own, right? We always see like even the crew, the people in the team, they also start listening a lot. I get a lot of feedback after the shoot also. Yes, as opposed to like someone who's, let's say, a leader or someone who's an executive, also have their own point of view, and the podcast goes well. But the magnetic or mesmeric element of someone like you, or when we had Mr. Juneja from the Kesh King Devisa gentleman, or we had Rohit, who built out Snapdeal, Ashish, who built out Off Business, Pramath, who built out ISB and Ashoka University. These conversations always leave me in a deep sense of, one, gratitude, but also impatient motivation. कि यार इन्होंने जो बोला है ना, I also want to do it, and I'm sure everyone here also feels the same way. So As we enter the twilight of this conversation, first of all, I wanted to express my deepest gratitude to you for not only building the business the way you have, but the humility you bring to the conversation, to the learning, and the generosity of insight that you have is amazing. But as you think about what next, you're 61, like you said, you don't look it at all, but your children are now in the business, your nephews kids are in the business, it's clear that big parts of the business are now getting professionalized, you're becoming hands off, but your ambition remains ki abhi this has to go to 1,000 crores, it has to go to 2,000 crores, 2 million outlets, more products, more consumer love, while keeping the core nucleus of your ethics and value system intact. It must be a very difficult, or it must be a very planned next 5-10 years when you will achieve this. How are you thinking about it?
So yes, for future, for next 5, 7, 10 years, my next working now onwards, mostly last 1.5 years, I've started working on this majorly as to where next, how the compass has to be set. So as the organization is growing, we are getting people from different places, different organizations also, and from different fields. So now the time has come when we feel that we have to put more systems into place so that the value system and the ethics system and the organization, what we stand for, what is our core, what is the purpose of our existence and all those stuffs, and what for we exist in this business, and what we mean about this business and how it has been built. So we are putting in a lot of policies. Even the HR policies are getting redefined, and everything is getting well documented and professionalized in every aspect. Not only HR, even in the way we are going to conduct business, even the vendor management policies, small to the smallest aspect. We have our own manufactories. So manufactories are situated 1,500 kilometers away from the HO. So, and there more than 500 people are working.
Wow.
So are they following the same core with the organization? Are they following the same value system or the same ethics system? So we have put in HR executives here as well from the HO, so that, they are able to...
Cultural.
So there is no cultural misfit. So when we are operating from Kolkata HO, the body language is different or the language is different. And when we are operating from Baddi, the language has to be the same. It cannot be different from...
Come two different companies, correct?
Yeah. So people should not feel that these are two different companies in the same company. So all those things we are trying to stitch together. And even for there are three things which I feel are the tasks which are cut out for me. Internally, to professionalize more, pick up the right kind of people and promote them and get them into the leadership roles. Not necessarily only from the family. Can be from the people who are homegrown or resources who are already available within the organization. So get them into the leadership role, professionalize more, and make the entire organization know that where is the opportunity for this organization to grow, how far this organization can go. So they should also start believing that there is a perpetuity aspect in this business. It can go on and on and on, even if they are also not there. So that mindset has to be set in next 5-7 years. This is what I'm trying to seed into the people. Externally, I feel that we should be into better class of outlets, into more geographies, into more countries maybe, and into better class of retail, organized retail as well. So wherever we are lacking, externally those things are to be seen, and overall the brand perception has to be built up gradually so that we are more loved, more desired by our consumers. This is what. Internally, there is a lot of internal work which is to happen, and which is happening very rapidly. Next 5-7 years, this is the task on me basically, as to how I generate it in such a way that the vision of having the perpetuity aspect is actually set before I leave.
Sir, Barbershop ka the reason we have conversations with gentlemen such as you, founders, enterprise creators, innovators, thinkers, leaders, thought entrepreneurs, is because people who are watching us are people who love building.
Yeah.
They listen, and even if one of them decides to start their own company or become entrepreneurial in their own life, whether if they're a sports person, if they are a musician, if they are a lawyer, whatever they're doing, उस फील्ड में अगर वो entrepreneurial बन जाते हैं, तो I feel कि you spending 2.5 hours with me and all of this will be a worthwhile effort. Any word of advice to all of them who are watching with starry eyes कि यार इन्होंने जो किया वो मेरे को करना है मेरे फील्ड में, what would you tell them which may not be very obvious or which may not be very intuitive?
See, I always feel that whatever you are doing, no matter whether you are playing or you are into any kind of work, whatever you are doing, you may not be the best, but you always try to give your best shot. That is what I always believe in. So you will never have that hurt. You will always say that I gave my best shot. I may not have won, I may not have fulfilled this task, but I gave my best shot. But if you are half-hearted, you are getting into anything, any work, thinking मेरे से तो होगा नहीं, मैं करता हूँ, और आपने half-heartedly उसको किया, half-baked अवस्था में किया, it will never work for you. So whatever you are doing, give it your best shot. So I feel that learning has to be very important. That whatever we are pursuing, that I said, no, sincerity of effort, whatever we are doing, जो भी काम हम लोग कर रहे हैं उसमें हमारा सिंसियरिटी 100% होना चाहिए. उसमें बेस्ट शॉट देंगे, आपको सक्सेस मिलेगा ही मिलेगा. शुरू में नहीं मिला, लेकिन वो विजन, वो क्लैरिटी माइंड में रहना चाहिए. क्लैरिटी ऑफ थॉट मैंने बोला शुरू में.
Purity of heart, clarity of thought,
sincerity of
effort and spiritual consciousness.
Yeah. It will happen. आप कुछ गलत कर नहीं रहे हो तो आपके साथ अच्छा क्यों नहीं होगा? आपने अपना फुल एफर्ट दिया है तो आपका काम होना ही है. आपने सही डायरेक्शन चूज किया, सब कुछ किया. आई थिंक दैट इज द बेस्ट वे. एंड ऑलवेज थिंक whenever you are working on something that there is no option B. This is my last chance.
सेफ्टी नेट है ही नहीं.
सेफ्टी नेट है नहीं. प्रॉब्लम ये है आज के दिन, हर आदमी को लगता है BCD तक है. ये नहीं होगा तो ये कर लेंगे, ये नहीं होगा तो ये कर लेंगे, ये नहीं होगा तो ये कर लेंगे.
ऑप्शनैलिटी है ना वो.
There is so much of paradox of choice. No option. भाई हमने यही सोचा, मेरे पास और कोई रास्ता नहीं है. मेरी लर्निंग मैं लाइफ की आपके साथ शेयर कर रहा हूँ. आज भी मुझे यही लगता है कि इसको छोड़ के तो मैं कुछ जानता नहीं. There is no option B if you start with this thought whenever you are doing even a young age. This is my only game. This is my only play.
I have to win.
I have to win. Then you put in your best effort.
तो mindset पूरा.
तो मेरा फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इसके साथ जुड़ा हुआ ही है. जब आपको पता है कि ऑप्शन बी नहीं है तो आप बेस्ट एफर्ट डालते हो उस पर. हाफ बेक्ड एफर्ट नहीं डालते हो. एंड देन यू आर बाउंड टू विन. सर हम तो 1000, 2000, 5000, 10,000 का सेल करते करते यहाँ तक आए हैं. हमको तो हम जानते भी नहीं थे यूनिलीवर का नाम भी उस टाइम पे. अभी यूनिलीवर हमारा नाम लेता है. इट्स लाइक दैट. सो haven't achieved. What we have done is we have continued to grow. हमने, आप बिलीव नहीं करोगे, हमने कंपटीशन कभी समझा ही नहीं कि कोई कंपटीशन, आज भी नहीं समझते. एक बहुत अच्छा रिसेंटली मैंने एक देखा, बहुत ब्यूटीफुल था. आई वांट टू कोट दैट, कि ये जब रामचंद्र जी पहुंचे ना लंका पे जब चढ़ाई करने, तो वो जो पत्थर समुद्र में फेंक रहे थे पुल बनाने के लिए, वो सब तैर रहा था आराम से. तो लंका में रावण के पास तक ये बात उसके लोग लेके गए कि सर रामचंद्र तो आए हैं और वो जो पत्थर फेंक रहे हैं कुछ डूब नहीं रहा है, सब पत्थर तैर रहा है, तो हम लोग उनसे कैसे जीतेंगे. तो रावण ने बोला अरे ऐसी क्या बात है, हम भी पत्थर फेंकेंगे तो वो भी तैरेगा. एंड देन ही वेंट देयर और जाके उसने एक पत्थर फेंका और वो पत्थर भी तैर गया. तो पूरा मोटिवेशन आ गया टीम को. लंका की टीम को पूरा मोटिवेशन आ गया, यार हम ही जीतेंगे फिर तो, हमारा बॉस भी जानता है पत्थर कैसे फेंकता है और कैसे तैराते हैं. मंदोदरी जो उनकी वाइफ थी रात को उनको पूछती है, मैं तो आपको बहुत अच्छे से जानती हूँ, मुझे पता है आपका कैपेबिलिटी, आपका पत्थर तो तैरना ही नहीं चाहिए, आपने पत्थर तैराया कैसे. बोला जब मैं पत्थर फेंक रहा था ना तो मैंने पत्थर को राम की कसम दे दी कि तुम डूबना मत, तुम तैरना. तो उसको कसम माननी पड़ी, वो तैरा. सो दिस इज हाउ यू रेस्पेक्ट योर कंपटीशन. कंपटीशन को इतना रेस्पेक्ट करो, कंपटीशन को कंपटीशन समझो ही मत. हम तो उसके साथ खेल रहे हैं, हम साथ में एक गेम खेल रहे हैं. वो नहीं है तो मेरा इनोवेशन नहीं होगा. आज कंपटीशन है बोल के हम भी जिंदा है. तू है तो मैं हूँ.
Competition is not a zero-sum game. People don't understand this.
Yeah.
It's not a zero-sum game.
So competition तो चाहिए. Then only.
Charcoal face first.
Always.
Yeah.
See, you must have got so much of high when you saw Gillette coming up.
With charcoal shape. Yeah.
है ना? यही मजा है. This is what that is where you get a very
I
high.
took it as the biggest compliment possible.
Exactly.
Like ये सही चीज है यार.
तो वो आपको आके ये थोड़ी बोलेगा तूने बनाया बोल के मैंने बनाया. But you know that is my contribution to the consumer community. That is where you really feel very high. मैंने कंज्यूमर को एक अच्छा प्रोडक्ट दिया, अब मल्टीनेशनल भी उसको दे रहा है और लोगों तक फैलाएगा, कम से कम इस प्रोडक्ट का कंजम्पशन होगा. Something which I created. Very nice.
Sir, it has been a pleasure to talk to you. I feel that this is my genuine feeling is that we can do 3-4 episodes. I don't know whether Paulomi will allow it, but I think this is a 3-4 episode series with you, and I would love to meet Sanjay sir as well.
Yeah.
And other people who have been in the joy story for 37 years or formative years of your business. But for today, this has been truly fantastic. I have not lost track of time like this in a long time. So
Wonderful talking to you as well, Shantanu. Superb. I mean, you never make it feel like, we have been talking for so long.
Yeah, it's really.
I also lost track of time.
But thank you so much for your generosity, and I hope you enjoyed it. But thank you so much for tuning into the Barbershop. And thank you, Sunil sir. It's been a pleasure for me.
Pleasure for me as well. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, that's very important. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.